It's gotten out of hand. This is inexcusable. It's a disaster, as you can see. We've got stuff everywhere. I've got more stuff that has to fit in here, and we're running out of space. This is a huge problem. A lot of these boxes, as you see, are full, and it's full of inventory that I need to get listed on eBay, as well as some stuff on my desk, as well as we've got tubs over there full of stuff need to get listed. We've got stuff that is listed over there, sitting there for some reason. We have a huge mess of who knows what on the shipping table over here. Like, what's even going on? I have on my actual desk tape guns. I've been doing packing here, receipts that have to be entered, more receipts, more bins full of stuff. What is going on? And I have a few more boxes of things I need to move in here as well to get listed. I'm telling you guys, I leave this place for a few days and it becomes an absolute disaster. So my solution starts over here. This is a shelf that I really haven't touched too much recently, full of a bunch of stuff, very inefficiently stored, and just really a mess, to be honest. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull everything off of here and reorganize this shelf, hopefully providing us with some room for some of these boxes that really need a place to go. I'm also tempted because I have all these boxes over here that had to get put away. You can see like bubble wrap over there, everything. But I'm tempted to put a little shelf. I have maybe like 2 levels left of a little shelf that I could put here and store maybe some boxes on it. Maybe not, I don't know. I don't want it to look too crowded, but I think we have to figure this out.
Okay, I know, I'm sorry, that was a little bit of a random intro there, but I had to have that little rant off the bat. But in today's video, we're gonna be going ahead and cleaning up and organizing my whole office. How exciting. Glad you guys joined me for this video. No, but seriously, it's not just gonna be me walking around with a broom the entire time. We're gonna be talking here about some efficiencies and some of the different things that maybe I'm not realizing with the setup that I have here, or maybe some of the things that can add to your setup in terms of increasing your efficiency when doing your eBay listings. I came down here today and it was just super messy, and I decided that that's enough of that. We need to first of all have a clean work environment so we can work efficiently. But it also just slows down the process and is really hard to sort of get your mind around mentally when you have to look at all these things and there's things in the way when you're trying to do stuff. It's very frustrating. I am a big believer in keeping a clean workspace. I think hopefully I've sort of shown that in the channel here over the last, year that I've been recording these videos, that generally speaking is pretty clean down here. But it's gotten to the point where it's a little bit messy and we have a lot more stuff moving in and out of here than we did a year ago. So some changes have to be made. We're also very limited on space here. I would imagine this is maybe like 200 square feet. Yeah, probably about that in my office here. I can expand outwards if I really need to. But my goal currently is to keep it all contained in here. Which means that today we're gonna be looking at some different furniture pieces that I have done here, some different shelves that I'm using, and seeing if we can maybe change the uses of those to make them more efficient. So not exactly cleaning. We're gonna be doing more so reorganizing inventory and actually making things efficient down here. Personally, I'm kind of like a nerd for this kind of stuff. I like organizing things. I like seeing things clean. I like going through the process of trying to make things work better and flow better. So I know if I was watching this video, I would be very excited. So hopefully you guys will be able to find some value out of this and some excitement in it as much as I am. And let's have some fun cleaning up the space down here and making it work way better. Plus, we'll also talk about some sort of hidden listing items that I haven't touched in a long time that we can maybe list on eBay here in the future. Going to be very exciting.
Okay, so like I said in the beginning, I didn't like this shelf at all and the way it was being used, and now it's empty. So that's good right off the bat. Yeah, that was always driving me nuts. This use of space here was always a little weird as well. There's definitely some stuff around here that is not being stored as it should be. Like even the boxes here, we're going to rethink all this here in a second. We have a couple tubs down here. This is packing material on one side and a bunch of clothing items that are listed on Poshmark in the other side. About half of them are listed, actually about half of them are not. Anyway, my solution here, what I'm thinking, because this is a receiving shelf and we have a lot of things to receive right now, is I want to try to move into some smaller boxes like this for some smaller items. So I think this kind of thing, the Staples box, I only have one of these, but this will work well for all these items that need to eventually get listed. There are things here from literally probably a year ago at this point, like this tablets from the 60-day challenge that was just worthless. In fact, we should probably go through this before I keep putting things in here and just pull out a couple things that we can just say, we're going to just donate these or get rid of them. They're not going to be worth our time. Like this was just a bad buy, for example, I think. And I think we just had to accept that. It doesn't even turn on, I don't think. No, you know what? So this will just be donated, I think, to Value Village. I'll leave it in there for now, but I'm going to go through these things and we're going to get rid of some of this. I know Value Village also isn't open, so maybe that's not the most convenient thing to do, but we will get rid of a lot of this stuff, like these things too. I'm not sure what they're worth. I was going to list the 3 of them together. Like, I don't know. Other option is I just spend a day and actually get this stuff all out of here, which would be the better option. Anyway, so what are we receiving here? Well, we have a bunch of stuff like that. In addition to that, we have a whole bunch of video game consoles like everywhere right now. And then we have, well, of course, VCRs and VHSs that were there before. We had a bunch of other boxes. Other boxes including things like this. This is a box full of wholesale items. If I can open it up here, let's take a look. I mean, half the stuff in here is just random, who knows what stuff. A lot of this stuff's actually like, well, actually maybe it's not garbage, but it's just a whole bunch of brand new items. I'm not sure where they came from or what they were. Maybe this is a box of samples. I can't remember. This stuff could be listed and might even be listed, some of it, like in terms of the quantity SKUs on some of these, but yeah, we got to hold on to it, I guess, but ideally we can go through it and put them in their appropriate boxes, because I think a lot of them have boxes. And then update some quantities on eBay. Besides that, I have a whole bunch of books coming in. This is the first example of a box, but we're getting a whole bunch of books that I'm going to be trying to list on eBay. And so I need a place to put all of those, and I don't have one right now, but that's one box, and I've got maybe 3 or 4 more. And then below that is a bunch of DVDs, brand new sealed DVDs for Amazon that I need to either send in to them or list on eBay. I'm not sure, but I might just go ahead and start bulking up and liquidating some of this stuff. Okay, so that's that mess over there. We've also got a pile of garbage that just needs to go out. Then I've got this whole disaster over here, receipts, games, random stuff, all has to be cleaned up. And then I've just sort of pulled all this stuff off the table. But essentially what I'm gonna do now is kind of reorganize it so I have all of my video game consoles in one area, all of the boxes in one area, because those are moving around too much, and sort of just consolidate things. So here's what's gonna happen, guys. Down here, I have a major shelf, not really a major shelf, I don't know why I got so excited about that, but there's a shelf down here that I really don't use, and has just been storing some video game consoles. My goal here is to potentially make this all boxes and have all of my eBay boxes on there. I'm not sure if that's gonna work. There's not a lot of room down there. But maybe we could do that and then have a couple of the bigger ones along the side here like I do right now. Let's look into doing that. In fact, if we could get all the boxes down underneath this desk, I would be very happy with that. Maybe even if we had to put some sort of special shelf down here, I have some other options that we could play around with, and we definitely get some boxes stored below here. This shelf we'll talk about in a second. Maybe we won't. I don't know. It's all... I don't know if I want to touch it yet because it still have stuff being refurbished, and that stuff should be moving pretty quickly, so we should have that freed up soon. My goal would be to eventually move this into an inventory or receiving shelf. This one, no, is a major no-no. This has a whole bunch of stuff in it that has not been listed. It's been sitting here for a long time, and I don't plan on listing it anytime soon. I plan on listing it after I get through all the other stuff in here, which basically means never, in another word. That's when a reseller tells you that they're going to list something after they're done all their other stuff. Well, I'm never going to be done all my other stuff, so I do intend to list this stuff. Maybe not. I don't know. It's a bunch of old vintage, Genesis games, not even worth too much money. There's some Nintendo stuff back there, just some retro stuff that I picked up over the years. I have no interest in particularly keeping this stuff, but at the same time, I haven't found the time to list it, and it's kind of a pain to go through and test it all. You'll also notice a huge pile of controllers here. There's some more stuff, empty cases down here. This is just not a good use of space, though. On this side, it's more supplies kind of stuff, which I will kind of keep for now, but again, lots and lots of space in here. It's not being used very well. Anyway, in short, I'm either going to lot all this stuff up and just list it on eBay in a big untested retro game lot and then just get rid of it that way, or the other option here is that I'm just going to box it up, keep it down here for a few more years, and then sell it then. I don't know. Again, I don't want to hold on to this stuff. I have no interest in really holding on to it, but at the same time, I don't want to just get rid of it for bulk, because then I feel like I'm not getting good money for it, although I'm not even sure if it's even worth that much. Why are we having this conversation then? But anyway, this is a bunch of box stuff as well. I mean, there's lots of stuff in here, Game Boys, whatnot. Might be worth holding on to. I don't know. Anyway, all this stuff is coming out, and we can make this either console storage or receiving item storage or listed stuff. I don't care. It just needs to be used better than this. So that's the plan, guys. I'm going to spend a few hours here cleaning this entire place up, and let's kind of see what we come up with, and then I'll maybe give you guys an update or some sort of tour. I might actually stop part way through here and give you guys another update, and then we'll go for a little tour at the end and see what we were able to accomplish, walk through some of the things I'm going to change. And yeah, hopefully this will all work out well. All right, guys, so I've just been thinking here about what to do with all this retro stuff that I just pulled out. We have, a whole box here full of stuff, and television games are on the far side here, and there's maybe 40 or 50 of those, as well as we've got some things I've just shown you here, some cartridges, whole bunch of stuff, as well as these two piles here, and this stuff. I think what I'm going to do with this stuff, by the way, is a bunch of vintage PS1 games. There's probably about 50 of them there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lot this stuff all up on eBay and bundle it. I just don't have the time to go through and test it all. I don't think any of it's particularly valuable, except for maybe, like, I don't know, what's that? There's a Zelda game. Like, some of these are worth some money for sure. Maybe it's worth the time to list them. I don't know. But for whatever case, or for right now at least, I don't have the time to do it. So I'm just going to put them all aside for right now in a box, and we'll deal with them at another date. But they will be here, and we will go ahead and get those listed, whether it be a lot or individually, I'm not sure, or a combination of the two. But we will figure something out for these, just not at the time being. But this will at least consolidate them all. I'll know where to find them. We can store this box somewhere. With that said, that basically opens up level 1 here. And I know it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but these are relatively deep cabinets. Like, my arm goes way back there. They have a lot of room in them, and I think we'll be able to get quite a few consoles and things in here or whatever we choose to store. The only other thing that I don't know what to do with are these. Are these worth anything anymore? Probably not, right? The Scavenger portals. My problem is I don't like to get rid of things that might have value, but at the same time, that kind of makes me a hoarder then, right? Which means I can't be holding on to this stuff if it's really not worth anything. These might be just a big pile of Value Village donations, or I could lot them up on eBay and sell them for $5-10. I don't know. Either way, they're coming out of here. I think let me know down below if you experience this, because I think a lot of other resellers might, but you have this weird thing where maybe you buy stuff to resell, maybe it's just stuff that you have sitting around in your house and you intend to resell it, but you don't actually get around to it. There's always more important stuff for me to be listing than these, but I want to resell them, but at the same time, it's like I never do it. So is there a point in actually holding on to them to eventually resell them, or should I just be getting rid of these because I kind of know in my head that I'm probably not going to get around to them, but it's kind of like a rainy day thing? Because then I end up with boxes of rainy day stuff that I don't ever actually list, but it's here in case I ever wanted to. It's like, you know, whether or not you bought it or not, I guess it's just the definition of a death pile really, but whether or not you bought it or whatever, you know, you still have that feeling of like, I could get, you know, $20 for that or something. Why would I get rid of it for free? I don't know. But I think at this point, it's time to start letting go of some stuff. Okay, guys, hold on. Just had a huge change of plans when I was doing this. I was just filling all this stuff up with video game consoles, like so. And I know Airval is watching this, and don't worry, because I know one of these belongs to our combined store, and a couple of these actually probably do, and we will get them listed. I'm just putting them here temporarily until I go around and actually spend a day. They're all in one place. I can list them all or get them drafted or whatever needs to happen. But I'm just thinking, why am I filling up the cabinet underneath the shipping table with consoles? Shouldn't this be where the boxes go? Oh, I don't know now. Maybe I could put the boxes on this side. Yeah, this is gonna be a hard one because we just have, we have so much stuff. If I don't put consoles in here, I don't know where I'm gonna put them. Because that shelf way over there is just too small, I think. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna play around with this for now, and maybe I can consolidate some of these so I can put some boxes in here. I don't know. Okay, although it's still quite a mess, now we are talking. We have a pretty solid receiving shelf being built here that I'm very happy with. And this is more like what I was talking about. Little tiny things can go in a box like this. I can lift it up and grab them as I need them. Moving on to the side though, then we've got a couple of the larger lots. These two, I just received them. I'm gonna be doing a video on them. And then we've got this one right here, which is all the wholesale items that we talked about. Down below, I'm going to try to maybe buy one more of these tubs in the future and use them for receiving video games that maybe I pick up somewhere, or even just for more loose stuff or whatever. But they keep things very tidy. But this general look with the boxes here is how I like it. I've also taken the liberty of moving all of the boxes that we're seeing right here, which were driving me nuts because they kept falling down every time I would walk by. And I placed them all under here. I know it's not the most attractive looking thing, but they're all here, and if I ever need a box that's an odd size, I can find them. Also, this shelf has been relatively cleaned out. I still left some consoles there. But that brings us over here, which is now where all of the boxes are in terms of the ones I use most often. The little ones, those are 6x6x4s, I believe. And then the 8x6x4s right here. A couple Amazon A3 boxes, I believe, which are always helpful. And then a whole box of eBay supplies if I need them. Down here, you'll see now we've got quite a few consoles. There's a whole stack of PS3s in the back, a couple PS1s back there, PS2s. Those are the Slims. I think I don't know if there's any PS2s back there, but then another PS3 here and a couple 360s. Not too bad, and it's storing them well, and we'll be able to pull consoles from here very easily and get them listed. The remaining of my bigger eBay boxes for now I've stacked right here. This should work right beside the receiving shelf. Again, plenty of room though on the receiving shelf for more boxes, and then as I get more lots in, I can also pile things up here, which will be nice. So that's very convenient. I'm very happy with that. The bottom is still, I'm not too upset with this. I mean, the clothing stuff there, that's okay. And the packing materials are something that I go for all the time, and it's very close to the shipping station. So it all works out. Now I just have to figure out, I've got a couple older consoles, or not consoles, but electronics here that need to get listed at some point. I should probably put them on the receiving shelf, or I can maybe find another solution. I'm still thinking. Alternatively, I have a whole bunch more boxes, which would follow the style a little bit more of what we're going for here, that I could just shove on here and we'd be good with them. But yeah, these kind of inventory boxes and these things with lids are going to be crucial for storing loose stuff, because A, it allows you to store so much more without having to worry about like stacking it on top of each other, which is what I've been doing for so long. So a couple of these guys are key. And also, of course, it does keep things more protected. I had things falling off here before and everything. So it's just going to keep things more protected. protected and way cleaner looking. Like, it just looks so much nicer without having all the piles of stuff here. I'm very happy with this, so I'm glad that we did this today. Also, a piece of advice that I would implement here if I wasn't doing videos on this kind of stuff is that when I receive big lots like this, I would actually leave them completely sealed until I'm ready to go and use them. Obviously, open them up, check that everything's there, but I think leaving them completely sealed until you're ready to actually list them is quite helpful, because then you just have already stored in a box, so you don't have to like deal with all these loose things, and the box fits them, so you don't do anything. I just think it's an easier way to go about things. Obviously, I'm going to unbox them all and do hauls and talk about what we got and slowly list them over the next few weeks, but I think if I was doing this without making any videos, I would probably leave everything completely sealed up in the box that it arrived in until I'm ready, and then just go one box at a time, list everything in that box, and then sort of work through everything that way. Because now you can see this box down here, this lot came in a big box that's already been thrown out, and now I had to put it into a tub, which is kind of annoying. So having this kind of stuff is easy. You can move it, you can always throw them out, but definitely helpful to store things in. Guys, we're starting to see some real good progress here. A couple things still left to clean up on the tables, but first things first, this whole side here is very clean now. I've kind of organized the shelf here. I know I said I wasn't going to touch it, but it turns out it wasn't being used very efficiently, which is having 2 stacks. I managed to fit 2 deep stacks of games there. These are all the ones that we're going to lot up, and loose cases on this shelf, as well as a couple that need to be refurbished right there. Whole bottom shelf are all things that need to be refurbished, as well as that bin is things that didn't work that we're going to have to lot up as well. But this is all clear now, which is where the inventory bins used to be, hanging over the shipping table. Not too much going on here, except I've sort of just cleaned it all up a little bit, and I'm going to sort of organize the back wall there where these scales go and whatnot. Still got some work to do on the floor here. Going to go empty the recycling. Then I'm going to possibly paint this either today or the next day, or what I could do is just do white over here and get a mat, because it just keeps coming up, and it just seems to be in these places that I frequently will stand or walk. That's where I stand to do my shipping. So obviously the paint keeps coming up there. So kind of annoying. I was pretty happy with this paint. Unfortunately, in this room, I didn't prime it correctly, and that's why in this room I've had so much trouble with the paint coming up, and in the other rooms I haven't. So yeah, my bad for that, and I really should have done it correctly when I first did it. I could prime that one area and paint it. That seemed to work under here in the one spot, so I might try that. But that's a whole other job for another day. I might just put a mat over it as well. I'm not sure. You'll notice that my computer is missing from here. There's actually nothing hooked up to the monitors right now. I'm going to bring down a laptop, just like an i5 MacBook Pro, that's going to run this thing. Should be really good. My Mac Mini, unfortunately, I think has died on me. I might still try to get it going again. I think the operating system may have just clonked out, or the hard drive or something, so it doesn't seem too severe. But for the meantime, I'm going to be bringing that down here, and we will be using it. I think it's like a 2016 computer, so it's still totally up to date with the latest OS and everything, which will be nice. So we'll have that all set up here. Yeah, should be good. So I'm going to do a little bit of cable management, clean the this mess up, because this is not looking good right now. And we'll get that all rigged up at some point. I do have an Xbox One hooked up here right now. I was using it on the screens here just for fun, because I was bored one day, and that's still here. It's actually not hooked up right now. The HDMI is not hooked up, but I might just move that back upstairs to my room, because again, I don't really use it down here, and I just I wanted to play with it down here for one day, and it sat down here now for a few weeks without being used. So I think I'm going to go ahead and move that back upstairs. You guys may remember that these receiving bins were actually empty in a few videos ago, where I had sort of looked in them and noticed that there was nothing in them. Now I've filled them all up. This one specifically is filled with all of the games that were, I'm not sure what these were. These were leftovers from something. And then we've got, I think these are actually listed, possibly. Yeah, those might be listed. We got the EB game stuff in there, though. We have, oh man, I think that's just another random a little bit of extra stuff in there. And then over here, we've got 2 bins of listed stuff. So a little bit of listed stuff, strangely, but I'm putting these bins to use now, which is great, because they were literally sitting here empty. And the entire time I thought there was stuff in them. So I think for a solid 3-4 months there, I hadn't reached for them and looked at them at all, but I just assumed that they were full of things and games and whatnot, and they were completely empty. So that was a huge waste of space. And now that they're full, I'm feeling a lot better. The desk is still a little bit of a mess. I'm going to go ahead now and clean up the rest of this, get it all finalized, and then we will go for a little quick tour again. I know I've sort of shown everything, but I'll give a little quick tour, and we'll see a final product here. But hopefully, guys, I've enjoyed this kind of video. Let's go ahead and get this thing finished up, though. Okay, guys, so with about 4 hours straight of work, I know it might be hard to believe, but that's literally how long I spent down here doing this cleaning. We are done. Check it out. Starting over here at the shipping table, we have, or sorry, not the shipping table, the photo table and the testing table, we have it all cleaned off. I've got a couple extra bins down there. Our boxes have been moved there. couple different consoles and things that have kind of been scattered down there that need to be listed, but for the most part, we're pretty organized. That, for anybody wondering, is some supplies, some receipt drawers, and mainly paperwork and stuff, so not very exciting stuff in there. The rack looks good. Everything is nice and clean here, so I'm very happy about that, and we'll be able to take some nice photos and everything else now that this is all set. One real quick thing to note, I have moved my Herman Miller chair out of here. I am looking to buy possibly a second one, but I found that I was using my office upstairs far more these days, especially over the last couple weeks, and I was getting sore, and I figured might as well move it up there if I'm sitting up there a little bit more. I was doing some eBay listings from up there and all the editing of these videos as well as a whole bunch of other work. So for the meantime, it's going to be up there. It might move back down here. We'll see how it goes. But for right now, I've just got my old chair back, which sucks. I don't like this thing. But anyway, desk is looking pretty good. You can see I still have the receipts that had to be entered in the system. But other than that, we're organized here. I still haven't hooked up the computer. I'll do that tomorrow. JFJ station, though, looking really clean. Here we go. All of the, refurbished. I already kind of went over all these discs. All that stuff is there. And then we've got the pegboard all organized. We have these drawers, which are still sort of a mess, but they'll do for right now, whatever. I'm kind of running low on shipping material. I have to reorder some because this is all I have left, and that is not going to do it for very long. Also, just realized I have this coupon still. Looks like I can still redeem it, redeemable by February 13th. Yeah, so I can still get that as of right now. Anyway, moving on again, I've already showed you guys what's in the cabinets. Hasn't changed. We've got the phone station over here, which is very organized now. Actually, there's a couple phones that sold I had to pull from there. It's okay, though. We still have to do a little bit of work here. I actually threw a bunch of controllers that I was either going to list or save for consoles in here. So that was good use because that was actually an empty bin. Anyway, that fits very well there, so I'm happy with that for now. We've got, again, those boxes there. Receiving shelf looking super clean. Threw one electronic on it and the Wii Fit board in there, but everything else here is basically as it was, and it's still very clean. And I mean as it was a few seconds ago after I'd cleaned it all before. It was a disaster. So I'm very happy with that. Small pile of stuff here going to Value Village or being donated. I'm going to add to that over the next few days, but that's all I got for right now. But I will add to that and get rid of some more stuff. And then, of course, the wall of listed games, which is all here, and that's looking good. We've also got the shelf over there, which is just full of a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's looking good now that we've got all of the bins filled in there. I really like that look, so anyway, that's that.
Okay, guys, so with all of that, that basically wraps up what we were doing down here today. I was actually coming down here initially to record a video talking about a couple things I received, a couple boxes back there that I was going to shoot a haul video on, but when I came down here, it was so messy. I couldn't even, basically couldn't get to them, and I couldn't shoot. My desk was such a mess and everything, so I'm going to shoot that video tomorrow now. I'm not sure if this video comes out after or before it or whatever. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. We wrapped up today with some good cleaning and good organizing and good moving things around. That way, at least, too, when you guys come on to the next video, you don't see a bunch of stuff moved around that has no kind of context as to why it's there, so here's a little backstory to that, basically. If you guys enjoy this content where I go behind the scenes and sort of, do more of this kind of stuff where I am more practically moving things around, listing things, that kind of thing, it sounds like stuff that, would interest you, be sure to leave that down below in the comments so I know to make a couple more videos like this in the future. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you guys all in the next video.